Okay, in this video, we will decompose this equation into partial fractions. And with this problem, it has a repeater. And so we had to do something slightly different. So let's get started. And so first, we're going to split up into three partial fractions. We will have C1 divided by S plus 4 plus C2 divided by S plus 4 squared plus C3 divided by S plus 3. So whenever you have a repeater, let's say for example this was cubed, so a 3. Instead, this would be S plus 4, then you'd have S plus 4 squared, but then you'd have plus C3, which would be S plus 4 cubed. Because it is squared, you get only 2. You'll have C1 over the original, just the inside part, S plus 4. Then you'd have C2 over the whole thing, S plus 4 squared. Now, and then you have the third term, S plus 3. Okay, so once we're in this form, then we're going to want to multiply by a common denominator, which will be this term. So I'm going to multiply everything, both the left-hand side and the right-hand side, by S plus 4 squared times S plus 3. I'm doing it on both this side and this side. Because I'm doing it on both sides, it's allowed. So by doing this, this part right here will be eliminated. We would get S plus 5 is equal to C1 times, so S plus 4 is here, but then you have another S plus 4, so it would be times S plus 4 times S plus 3 plus C2. We already have all of the S plus 4, so the only thing we're missing is S plus 3. So S plus 3 plus C3 times S plus 4 squared, because this already has S plus 3, so the only missing part is S plus 4 squared. Okay, so once we have it in this form, next we're going to want to expand this out and expand this out. By doing that, we would get S squared plus 7S plus 12. And this is essentially S plus 4 times S plus 4. So it is S squared plus 8S plus 16. Next, we're going to want to group all the terms. So here we don't have any S squared. So it's simply a 0 is equal to, where do we have S squared? This is 1S squared. So C1 plus, here is another S squared, so plus C3. Next, we will do S. So we have 1S here, so 1 is equal to, we have a 7 here, so 7C1, we have an S here, plus C2, plus, we have an S here, so plus 8 C3. This is going to be for the S term. Next, we will do the number term. So 5 is equal to, we have a number here, 12. 12C1 plus 3C2 plus 16C3, 16C3. Next, we're going to want to try to sort of group. The first one right here, 0 plus C1 plus C3. That's a good one. So we know that C1 is equal to negative C3. This will be useful. We'll later use this term. And with that, I will adjust this equation. So I would get 1 is equal to 7C1 plus C2. Now instead, I will swap. So we know that C3 is equal to negative C1. So instead of writing C3, I will write negative 8C1. Now we can kind of group these two. We would get 1 is equal to negative C1 plus C2. Next, I'll do the third equation. Same exact procedure, where I will eliminate C3 and replace it with C1. So I would get 5 is equal to 12C1 plus 3C2. Swap. We would get negative 16C1. And now we group. So we would have 5 is equal to 12 minus 16 is minus 4C1 plus 3C2 2. And next, I will multiply this equation right here by a -4. I'm doing this in order to eliminate the C1 term so I can solve for C2. If I multiply this whole thing by -4, I would get -4 is equal to positive 4C1 minus 4C2. And so we would get 5 minus 4 is 1 is equal to, this becomes 0. 3 minus 4 is -1, so negative C2. And so C2 is equal to -1. This right here is one piece. And we know C2 is equal to -1. I can plug it back in here to solve for C1. So I would get 1 is equal to negative C1 plus C2. And we know C2 is -1. So minus 1. Moving the -1 over to this side, we would get 2 is equal to negative C1. And so we could say that C1 is equal to -2. Okay, so once we know this piece, solving for C3 is very simple. We know that C1 is equal to negative C3. So we essentially know what C3 will be. So C3 will equal 2. Now once we have all three pieces, all we need to do is plug it back into the original equation. So I'm simply going to plug in C1 here, C2 here, and C3 here. And so our final answer will be C1 we know is -2 divided by S plus 4 plus, we know that C2 is -1, so it will be plus minus, so simply a minus, 1 divided by S plus 4 squared plus C3, C3 is 2, so 2 divided by S plus 3. And so this right here is our final answer, and that's all we need to do for this problem.